For Complex News, I'm Pierce Simpson. It can be argued that the NBA is as popular as it's ever been. With superstars across the league and new faces on new teams, there's plenty to look forward to this upcoming year. We figured we'd give you the best storylines to look forward to heading into this year. LeBron James to La La Land. First things first, we have to talk about the biggest chess move of the offseason. That's LeBron James heading west to play for the Los Angeles Lakers. Rumors have been swirling for nearly 2 years that LeBron would ultimately take his talents out west, but Magic Johnson and Rob Pelinka were able to turn those rumors into a reality. However, plenty of Laker fans had dreams of a super team that potentially included the likes of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. Ultimately, they only ended up with LeBron James, which is not a bad consolation prize whatsoever. Arguably the best player in the game will team up with young guns like Kyle Kuzma, Lonzo Ball, and Brandon Ingram. And we can't forget to mention the Mud Crew, which consists of Lance Stevenson, JaVale McGee, Rajon Rondo, and Michael Beasley. Plenty of pundits are confused at the construct of this squad, and with them being in a brutal Western Conference, it won't make things any easier. However, LeBron has reiterated that he's in this for the long haul, which could ultimately mean a guy like Anthony Davis could be joining him. Where will Anthony Davis end up? Like I mentioned previously, the next big domino to fall in the NBA isn't Kawhi Leonard, Jimmy Butler, or Kyrie Irving. It's Anthony Davis down in New Orleans. With Boogie Cousins making his way out west to Golden State, plenty of Pelicans fans have to be terrified, because this means AD has to carry the burden on his own and could be forced to find greener pastures elsewhere. One likely landing spot could be the Los Angeles Lakers, who still have a lot of cap space available and ample talent to swing a trade, something that would have to happen with Davis having 2 years left on his deal. Also, it's worth noting that Anthony Davis recently signed a deal with Clutch Sports and is now being represented by Rich Paul, who's also LeBron's agent. I'm just saying. What to make of Markelle Fultz? The Philadelphia 76ers haven't had this much expectations heading into a season since the days of Allen Iverson, but with the cornerstone pieces of Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons, the Sixers might make some noise in the East post-LeBron. However, the shift to their starting lineup heading into the season has some people worried because of how dominant last year's starting squad was. But creating space for #1 overall pick Markelle Fultz is arguably the correct decision. The DMV native and Washington Huskies product endured one of the strangest seasons in sports history. There were reports that he forgot how to shoot, videos of his shot looking horrendous, and even had his former GM allegedly creating burner Twitter accounts to trash him. Fast forward to now, Markelle looks like a 2018 version of Brandon Roy, a rangy combo guard that could potentially wreak havoc on the league with his transition skills and defensive promise. The curious case of Kawhi Leonard. After the 2014 NBA Finals, plenty of NBA fans assumed that the San Antonio Spurs would gracefully transition into the next act of their dynasty. Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, and Tim Duncan could help the newly awarded NBA Finals MVP Kawhi Leonard become one of the best players in the game. Ultimately, Kawhi did become that player, but now he's with a new team, and every player mentioned before is no longer in San Antonio. The strange exit of Kawhi to Toronto continues to remain fishy on details, but his potential lone season in the Six could still be fruitful for him and the Raptors. Kawhi may very well be the best player in the Eastern Conference with LeBron out west, and a Raptors squad that was already a 1 seed last year without him could have people calling for MVP honors. But does that success mean he'll re-up in Toronto? Only Kawhi and his uncle knows. Kevin Durant's final ride in the Bay. The Golden State Warriors are primed for yet another championship, hopefully marking their 3rd and 4th seasons with a chance of grabbing the latest three-peat in NBA history. But despite that and the addition of all-star big man DeMarcus Cousins, the sentiment in the Bay that this could be the final season for Kevin Durant in a Warriors uniform. Reports continue to trickle out that the vibe is KD's gone, headed to a place where he could forge his own path, something that many detractors continue to pester him about. The Knicks continue to remain the odds-on favorite to land Durant this offseason, with the idea of KD bringing a title to New York being so tantalizing. Another option could be Durant teaming up with LeBron James in Los Angeles, along with potentially adding Anthony Davis. That trio of Davis, James, and Durant will be deadly on both sides of the floor. Dynasties are usually uprooted by dysfunction. Could the idea of KD having one foot out the door create the opportunity for a new champion? Embarrassment of riches. The Boston Celtics. That hypothetical dysfunction in Golden State could very well pave the way for a new NBA champion, and that brings us to the Boston Celtics. Despite missing arguably 2 of their best players last year for a good chunk of the season, including the playoffs, the Celtics were only 1 game away from making it to the NBA Finals for the first time since 2010. With Kyrie Irving returning back from injury and making it known that he wants to be in Boston for the foreseeable future, the idea of pairing him with the year-older Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and scary Terry Rozier, this squad has all the makings of a powerhouse. With LeBron James being in the Western Conference, the prohibitive favorites for many in the Eastern Conference are the Boston Celtics. But after a year of witnessing success and playing time, with Gordon Hayward now back from injury, will the younger players be okay with lesser roles? That's something to watch in Boston. And to be honest, they may be closer to Golden State than people think. What do you think of our storylines heading into the NBA season? What are you looking forward to? Let us know in the comment section down below, and keep it locked to Complex News by subscribing to us on YouTube. For Complex News, I'm Pierce Simpson.